ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent, welcoming you to this year's AEW Worlds End pay-per-view recap show. Yes, this one took place at the additional financial arena in Orlando, Florida. Yes, folks, if any of you people ever toured Orlando or did the touristy stuff in Orlando, Florida, you got to hear that a lot. So you kind of catch that little bit of a joke. Orlando. Enjoy your stay here in Orlando. Yes, a lot of that. Anyway, uh, pay per view, in my opinion, not great, but not bad. Had some good matches. Had some matches, kind of fell on the wayside. I'll get to that later on. But first, if you're enjoying yourself and watching me make fun of the people who work in the tourist industry in Orlando, uh, click that like button. Also, leave a comment. What did you think about this year's World's End pay-per-view? And be a champ and hit that subscribe button. Well, no further ado, let's get into the ground zero. I do that every freaking time. 0 hour. Yes, I actually got back from picking up dinner in time to check out the 0 hour portion of this of a AEW pay per view. So here we go right at it. First thing was Tony Storm versus Layla Gray. Of course, Tony Storm came back. Um, I'll get back to this a little later, but timing is not AEW's strong. Like I said, get to that later. Anyway, a little fill out process. Storm got the early advantage. Gray gets the advantage after a low drop kick. Storm comes back with a hip attack and a fisherman suplex for two. Some more back and forth. Gray comes back, hits a blockbuster for two. They wrestle around a little bit. Storm counters a suplex with a small package with a 1-2-3 win. Decent match. Not too bad. Like I said, Storm came back a couple of weeks ago doing the memory loss thing. I'm not saying amnesia. Amnesia is it? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat or in the comments. Is it amnesia where pretty much you forget everything and not just a couple of years? I think this counts for this memory loss, not amnesia. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please correct me. So as right now, I'm call it the memory loss of Tony Storm. But she's going back to her original gimmick, the punk rock gimmick. Buddy mine had a great suggestion too. It's like, how come they don't get Molly Cruz, Lissa killed for her interest music? But then I reminded him what the price tag for Europe's Final Countdown was, and I'm pretty sure Nikki Six Molly Cruz would be like, yeah, it's going to be north of that. So that's part of the reason they're not going to get that song, especially as a permanent basis anyway. All right, your second 0 hour match pits QT Marshall gets Double J Jeff Jarrett, the WWE Hall of Famer. Probably started wrestling when QT was born, probably. Anyway, again, this was a better match than before. The fans were into it. A lot of old school stuff here. They traded, one manship. QT Marshall, got a little advantage, tried to do a strut, then stopped the strut, did his little dance, whatever. Jeff Jarrett did the same thing. Did his strut, plus did the QT Marshall dance, whatever that's supposed to be. Jeff Jarrett got the sneaky sleeper in, but QT took over when he smashed him against the turnbuckle face first to escape that move. Then Jeff Jarrett came back, old school style, clothesline, backdrop, 10 punches of doom. Aaron Solo came out, distracted Jeff Jarrett when he had the sharpshooter on, causing Jarrett to release the sharpshooter. Marshall trying to steal one. QT calls for the guitar that doesn't draw a dime. Not a dime. Not a dime. Anyway, Jay Lethal comes out, helps old Double J out. Double J hits the stroke for the win. like I said, pretty good match. A lot of good old school stuff in this match, and the fans responded kindly to this match. All right, the final 0 hour match was an 8-man tag. You had the Outrunners versus Leo Rush, Action Andretti, and the Murder Machines. Uh, okay stuff here. Some back and forth and heat on Magnum. Then the Outrunners top flight came back, some dives, and Outrunners did their usual thing. Yes, I still call it if the Fabulous Ones and Billy Chuck Bump Uglies, the Offsprings will be the Outrunners. Anyway, looked like Lance Archer had things in hand, but Leo Rush would tag himself in, hits a frog splash, and gets a win for his team. Of course, you know that Lance Archer didn't appreciate that one bit. But then the tag team champions, the Private Party, came out uh, to the sound of what is called. Uh, yeah, I think people kind of over uh, the accomplishments now of Private Party. The feel good moment is over with. They got their you deserve it chance and everything else. And it is kind of disturbing. It's like, okay, got tag team titles, got trios championships that was not dependent on this pay per view. I think this was the second time. I guess the first time was or the last pay per view. The tag team title match was on a 0 hour, and now no tag team title match whatsoever. But I guess they know what they're doing. They had a lot. They had a packed card, so had to leave something out. All right, now that brings us to the main uh, show now, the main card. First match of the actual pay per view was a semifinal match for the Continental Classic tournament. I've done expressed my opinions of this Continental Classic tournament to no ends, but it didn't distract me to the point to where I will not acknowledge or not acknowledge that this was a good match. Very good match here. I had its problem little bit one thing, but I'll get to that later. Gosh, that's the third time I said that. I need to quit saying that so much. But trust me, I will get to the other things later. Anyway, yes, Continental Classic semi-final match. Uh, Started out a little feeling out process. Ospreay getting the better of that until Fletcher countered with a Hurricanrana outside, or countering a Hurricanrana and powerbomb Will against the apron. Then Fletcher would well, Hal Fletcher would throw Will like a lawn dart into the railings, gashing his head. Don't think that was a kind of confused there. Looked like it might be a natural cut when they went to the break, but or he could have. I don't know which one he done. Don't look like it was a blade job. It looked like a legit gash right there. But give the give the kid credit. Will push through this match. Will did come back. Uh, then Will and Kyle would trade chops. Did that usual Japanese thing. Uh, this is the one problem I had in the match. Will Ospreay hit his finisher, the that flying forearm move, that hidden blade move, and had the crowd right there. 1, 2 should have ended right there, and kept selling the hey he lost a lot of blood thing, but they continue on. Fletcher looked to end it with a second brainbuster, but Will counter to Hurricanrana into a Styles Clash. 1, 2, 3. Uh, Will Ospreay goes to the finals. Uh, did okay job. I mean, kind of had to slap himself a little bit, trying to go up the railing, trying to sell the gash on his head a little better. Um, then they had the backstage thing where, like I said, the other little problem I had in this match was he should have been like in a back locker room medical, section of like sitting on like a not like a hospital bed, but like a I guess a medical bed or just a chair, back in the locker room somewhere else, not the interview area or anything like that. But when the lady interviewed him, uh, cut his promo, said, "Hey, I'm going to be there, going to be ready for this final." Uh, if that was part of the match, kudos to them. They did everything almost right. It did give me that Jim Duggan Terry Gordy finals for the UWF Championship match vibe to it, that old school vibe. Check that out. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But like I said, the first hidden blade could have ended it there, get that surprise win, but I don't think it hurt Kyle Fletcher any in this match because you know they already teased it. Hey, Will Ospreay said, "Hey, one now," so they're gonna have a third one. Probably plenty more matches to come out of this match. Kyle Fletcher, I'll say it, he is a star in the making. Um, but also point out that I already knew Kyle Fletcher was going to lose this match because he was wearing baby blue uh, trunks. So uh, go back watch the Honky Tonk Man shooting review where he talks about Bravo with his baby blues, Rick Martel with the baby blues. Hell, even himself when he had to wear baby blue gear. Anyway, I digress. Let's go to the next semifinal match, and it was Ricochet versus Kosuke Okada. Yes, I know I probably butchered that name. Fans at this time was firmly behind Okada. Okada stops Ricochet's momentum with a big boot. Ricochet comes back after using the ropes to straddle Okada, then a suicide dive. Okada then again comes back with a flapjack. They trade some near falls. Then Okada wind up ending it with the Rainmaker, putting him in the finals, defending his championship. That's his championship there. Don't see the point of this. Anyway, after the match, Swerve Strickland's music hits, comes out, says Ricochet been talking a lot of mess, even on social media and on podcasts, saying that if it wasn't for Ricochet, there would be no AEW. So Swerve said, "Hey, I told you I was going to embarrass you." Uh, that's when Prince Donna came out, had like a wagon full of toilet paper, passed around to the fans, and Rick or Swerve did a count off 1, 2, 3, and everybody started throwing toilet paper again at Ricochet. So kind of gives that Jimmy Ray vibe. I don't know if anybody remember Jimmy Ray from Ring of Honor. They did the toilet paper thing with him, but he fed into it and also had great matches, and was also managed by Prince Nana. All right, takes us to the uh, Women's World Championship match. Mariah May defending her championship against Thunder Rosa in a Tijuana street fight. Rosa had an early advantage, attacking the champion. Some back and forth stuff. They did move some furniture. Crowd was not really into it the whole time. The biggest pop of the whole match is when the table got pulled out from under the ring, but the table always gets a pop. Anyway, Storm Zero pile driver wins it from the apron to the table. Wins it for Mariah May. Um, I can't remember her name. Meanie. I don't know why she wasn't in this match since their angle was set up in the last pay per view, and then you could have had uh, Tony Storm, appear after that match. Basically, what the match that Mariah May and Meanie had like a week or two ago, they could have had on this pay per view. I think one thing that killed the crowd, they knew Thunder Rosa had wasn't going to win this match. It seemed like it was just pulled together last minute, but I think they could have done um, the Ryan May meeting this one. Then after Ryan May won, that's when Tony Storm would have made an appearance. Like I said, timing ain't everything. And I think that's pretty much that takes care of the I'll get to it later. Jabs at uh, AEW, but like I said, Marame keeps her championship. Speaking of keeping, well, anyway, next match is MJF versus Adam Cole, and this is for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Yeah. Uh, Excuse me a second. All right. So this is for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Of course, Adam Cole won or was a co-winner of the Battle Royal, defeated Kyle O'Reilly, yada yada yada. Now he gets a shot. Cole goes after MJF from the get-go, but MJF took over by running Cole into the steps. Uh, Cole gets color here, play job. Cole makes a comeback until his knees buckled, and MJF will work the leg until Cole pulls him into the post. MJF gets color himself, but MJF comes back, pulls an Eddie Guerrero, gets Brad and Bennett kicked out. Um, MJF gets in the ring. Cole counters with a super kick. Uh, Grabs the Diamond Ring that MJF was going to use, but MJF counter with a kick in the webos. The Heat Seeker pile driver, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think he says 6 year in a row. 6th year in a row, MJF is your Diamond Ring champion. Um, Unfortunately, that he didn't just throw it out in the crowd, throw it in a trash can, or say, okay, let's stop this bullshit. Um, it's his forever. Don't Let's just forget about it, like we do the rest of the year, until MJF pulls it out for the to use as a object to cheat. Uh, anyway, looks like MJF is wanting to put a little more damage on Adam Cole. That's when Bennett Company came out. MJF ran out of the ring. He's up there on the stage, and Roger Strong and Kyle O'Reilly came out, uh, chased him back, threw him back in the ring. Did a leg sweep clothesline maneuver, then held up MJF so Adam Cole could hit him with that Dynamite Ring, and then he spit on it, dropped it on him, and who cares? Who cares after that? This kid didn't. Anyway, let's see. Now for the international championship, it is Powerhouse Hobbs challenging uh, Konosuke Takeshita for this championship. Good match. I wouldn't say this is a 5-star match, but it was a good match. Good power guy versus a guy at least the same height, and everything. Uh, Almost like a Barry Windham, Lex Luger type match. Takeshita being the Barry Windham, of course. Um, but Hobbs got an early advantage. Takeshita takes over, working on the leg. Hobbs mounts a comeback. At one point, Takeshita goes for a superplex, but they safely fell and did a take two moment. Got back on the top rope. Uh, Fans were even say, "Please be careful, please be careful." But the champion was able to superplex Powerhouse Hobbs. Uh, Fans were really starting to get behind and pulling for Powerhouse Hobbs. Uh, Hobbs slowly gets up, counters a power knee driver to a or power drive knee into a spine buster, near fall 2 count. Hobbs with a close 2 count. Moments later, Takeshita takes over and connecting with a Raging Fire finisher. Scores a pinfall after that, keeps his belt. But um, again, it didn't make Powerhouse Hobbs look weak or anything like that. He's just coming back from a knee injury and fall away, and fans responded accordingly. Uh, Getting behind Hobbs, I think, again, look at Powerhouse Hobbs. He does have a little bit. I mean, there's one point in this match where uh, it's like I said, the little things. I even point out to my buddy who was sitting there watching. There's that one point where Tashida was going to whip into the ropes, but Powerhouse, being a powerhouse, stopped him. He could Tashida didn't have the strength, but Hobbs just looked at him and smiled. See, it's that little point that makes you think he has enough charisma and stuff like that to make it. And like I said, like I told my buddy, look at Powerhouse Hobbs. Looks like a dude's big jacked up dude. If you didn't think he was a pro wrestler, you thought he was a pro football player or something like that. So, as long as they don't do the Warlow thing, give him somebody to feud with right now, and build him up, then give him a championship or something. I mean, he's already held gold before. He's a former TNT champion, so definitely can throw with somebody, feud with a little bit. Then maybe somebody a little higher on the card, feud, let him get the win that feud, stuff like that. Again, I think I seen something on social media today. Say, hey, who's somebody you don't sleep on? I say let's not sleep on Powerhouse Hobbs. Guy's not going to give you 5-star matches, but he's going to give you good enough matches. And if you book this guy right, he'll get you some fans. Because this guy looks like a superstar. All right, enough of that rant. Here we go. For the TBS Championship, we got Chris Statlander challenging again Mercedes Moné, the champion. This is 2, but notice that Chris Statlander was wearing the powder blue. I was like, crap. Well, I think we know here. I'm trying not to crap on this too much, but it was like 90% Mercedes Moné. And she winds up winning the match when they did some pinning combinations. Then she rolled into like a modified crucifix for the win. The announcers were like, "Oh, she gave it all she's got." It's like, y'all watch the same match? This is almost like, and plus it lasted way too long. And I think, yes, I was wrong on this. I probably shouldn't have been wrong. I should have knew better. But this is one of those times like, hey, Monet, do business here. Uh, but I mean, at least she could have like made her look stronger than what she was. But she didn't. Like I said, I'm not in those conversations. But good thing about it, Chris Statlander's over enough for that AEW crowd. She got a little bit of applause after that. But my opinion, not a good match. Seen both had way better matches. All right, that brings us to the finals of the Continental Classic Championship match. Again, very good match here. Actually, I predicted this on the live stream I had the other night. Well, at least I said it was going to be Okada against Ospreay. Again, these are supposed to be your 2 money guys right now, and this is a money match. And I don't think it gave too much away. I think later on you put them into maybe another little feud, and another not on Dynamite, on pay per view. Will Ospreay 100% and Okada. Anyway, Ospreay, like I said, had that injury, got busted open in the first match, had the wrap, the tape around and gauze around his head. Good look there. Okada will work on that the whole match. Ospreay will make several comebacks, but Ospreay did a good job selling it. Like I said, a good story here. In the end, it was like some more back and forth, some countering. Good final exchange of counters, trying to get each other in their finishers, but Okada wins out on that. Nails Will Ospreay with the Rainmaker and keeps his championship. Still the Continental Classic Championship. At the end, Christopher Daniels came out and said, "Look, this is the part where I usually come out and hand the belt over to the champion, but I'm no longer EVP, but this guy is." Out comes Kenny Omega. Uh, they, Omega grabs the championship, comes out, gives Okada. They do a little stare down. Omega leaves, but Omega. Omega got a pretty good reception from the crowd, of course. So hopefully he's better and 100% and ready to get back in the swing of things. They definitely could use Omega very much, as far, especially his star power. All right, and that brings us to the main event of the night. You had a fatal four-way for the AEW World Championship. Orange Cassidy, Adam Page versus Jay White versus John Moxley, the champion. This same old stuff. Everybody getting in the beginning, they all kind of zeroed in on John Moxley. Of course, he's the anti. He's out to take over AEW. And of course, him being the world champion, pretty much states that claim to that as far as a wrestler. Crowd, they did a little bit, not too much into it, but enough. Just like the big moves and stuff like that. But in the end, Jay White thought he had the championship in his grasp, but he turns around, gets hit by Wheeler Yuta. Mox picks him up, hits the Death Rider, covers him 1, 2, 3. Moxley, of course, is still your champion. And when it looked like that the Death Rider is going to put some more hurt on the Orange Cassidy, Adam Page, and Jay White, FTR's music hits, but they stop at the ramp, so they got somebody else with them. And out comes Adam Copeland. Adam Copeland comes out. They come in, beat and chase away the Death Rider. So, got on the mic and said, "Look, listen here, kid," and say, "I can call you kid because you were just growing pubes when he started." But anyway, that's a nice little funny line. But basically, this Wednesday, I believe it's going to be rated FTR. Adam Copeland, FTR, going against, I believe, Moxley, Yuta, and Claudio Pac and Moxley. Not sure which one. But anyway, like I said, some of these matches kind of fell flat with me. Some of these are real good. The Continental Classic matches, all three of those, the 2 semifinal and the finals, very good matches. Like I said, not a 5-star match. The Hobbs Tashida match, very good match. Like I said, Hobbs not going to ever give you a 5-star match, but he's going to put asses in seats if you book this guy right. I do believe. Anyway, appreciate everybody tuning in to this year's AEW Worlds End pay-per-view recap show. You folks have a good one. Have a safe New Year's Eve. And take it easy. And until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Thank you for checking out our P2 Vision. Subscribe to our P2 Vision to watch Ronald Ray's content that covers the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. His weekly content starts off with Wrestling Trivia Tuesday. Every Tuesday, Ronald Ray asks 5 questions about the sport of professional wrestling. So tune in and have some fun. Then it's WWE Monday Night Raw Recaps, where he recaps all the action from the Raw brand. Ronald Ray also does an AEW Dynamite recap show where he recaps and has fun doing it. Do you like live streams? Well, join Ronald Ray live on Spot Show Livestream, where he discusses current wrestling. Join the chat and have fun. Spot Show Livestream is on Thursday nights starting at 8 p.m. If current pro wrestling isn't your thing, like all wrestling past and present, or you're a new fan and want to hear how things were back in the day, then tune in to Wrestling Gold Friday night, where Ronald Ray discusses back in the day when wrestling was wrestling, featuring watch-alongs. That's Wrestling Gold Friday night on Fridays starting at 8 p.m.